ChatGPT versus Microsoft Copilot. Now, all throughout 2023, we heard about the rise of AI since the release of ChatGPT and a ton of other apps that have AI as its focus. But Microsoft's Copilot app has a ton of features that make it stand out against the official ChatGPT app. So the question is, which one is better? When you launch the Copilot app, you will see a list of ideas to get started, and you'll be able to use GPT-4, which is a more advanced model that ChatGPT uses in order to give you your responses. Microsoft Copilot is free, but I believe you will get the most bang for your buck if you already have an Outlook account, so you can use that. It's not really a requirement to have an Outlook account. Now, what you see here is a bunch of different items to get started, and if you tap on one of the items, then it's going to give you a response. If you use ChatGPT, it's very similar. But what sets Microsoft Copilot apart, at least the app, is the fact that you can use image search in order to get images from Bing and get the results. So for example, I took a picture of my PlayStation 5 controller and asked, what is this image? And after about 30 to 45 seconds, it actually spits out a result saying that this is a PlayStation 5 controller, it's white, it has 4 buttons on the right hand side, and it actually mentions the correct buttons. It mentions the analog stick, the touchpad, and how it's designed for ergonomics. So what I'm going to do for this video is I am going to provide the same set of prompts for both the ChatGPT app and the Microsoft Copilot app, and then we'll see which one is better. Official ChatGPT app, it doesn't have a lot of features. It actually has a few features where you can select an appropriate prompt in order to get started. There's also the ability to view your chat history, and you can also change the model from ChatGPT 3.5 to ChatGPT 4 if you have the appropriate subscription. But with the Copilot app, you can just turn on that toggle. Now, with all of these prompt-driven AI apps, it's important to note that sometimes the information that you receive could be incorrect. So before you use this in order to write a paper or enhance your resume, you may want to review the responses you get back from ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot or any other generative app in order to make sure you are presenting the correct information. All right, so let's get started with our first question. And this question is a bit of a random one, but it's going to be write a summary for Waiting for Godot. And that's a book I read in high school, and I really want to see what Microsoft Copilot can say about this piece of work. So we just put the prompt in, and it does take a few seconds, and here are the results. This does look like it's pretty accurate. It's been a couple decades since I've read that book, but I believe it's actually pretty accurate, at least from the point of the summary. And you could also see where Microsoft Copilot gets its information from, because it has links to sparknotes.com. And if you are young and you don't know what sparknotes.com is, I suggest you take a look, because it could help you out with your English assignments. Let's ask ChatGPT the same question, and we'll see what it comes up with. Okay. All right, so ChatGPT just gives a summary, but it doesn't cite its notes about the summary, which if you are just randomly looking for information, that's good. But if you want to know a little bit more, then you definitely want to use the Copilot app. Now it's time for question 2. And this one is a finance question. And we are going to ask Microsoft Copilot about the 24/10 rule. And I found out about this rule on YouTube. So here we go. Let's see what Microsoft Copilot spits out. Okay, so because I did not provide a lot of information, Microsoft Copilot wants to know more about the information. Let's do this instead. How much do I need to save daily for 10K? It's not the best question, but let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so it's actually the 27/40 rule. I thought it was the 24/10 rule. So that's my bad, and that is why both of the apps didn't know what the hell I was talking about. We'll just copy this question and we'll just give it to ChatGPT and let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so ChatGPT wants to know a little bit more. So let's say in 1 year. So with ChatGPT, you need to get a little bit more specific regarding your prompts. So this is the formula it gives, and it doesn't give me the daily amount. It just says, here's the formula, and then you can figure it out for yourself. So I would have to say point goes to Microsoft Copilot for actually providing the dollar amount and the sources. All right, so now for our last question. And this one is going to be a pretty interesting one. So we'll see how ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot respond to a request to create an Instagram post for a dog grooming and walking business. So we'll provide the question. All right. And then with this question, I actually gave it another requirement to make sure that the post has a cheerful tone. So let's submit this and we'll see what Copilot has to say. And as you can see, this is the response. So it's not really great. It's just a bunch of dog emojis and paw prints. So and I think it's just going to keep going at this point. All right, so now it's actually generating an image, which I wasn't expecting, but it does make sense when it comes to the request for the post because I mentioned Instagram. So we'll give this image some time to generate and then we'll jump back in. All right, so here are the results and they all look pretty good. And let's see, it does have a post here. Oh, the post doesn't really say anything. It just says a cheerful dog grooming and walking company Instagram post. But you can definitely see the AI generated images, which are pretty accurate, and they show happy dog owners and their pets as well. So this is pretty good. Now let's bring this to ChatGPT and we'll see what it comes up with. ChatGPT also just gives just the text part of the post because the app doesn't generate images. And the response from ChatGPT is pretty good. It's something that I believe any business owner would use. And it does have some hashtags, which gives it a little bit more of a personal feeling. All right, so we went through the questions, and I have to say that I am more impressed with the Copilot app because it cites its sources. It actually generates the images within the app, so you don't have to go out and find another AI generated website. But ChatGPT is still very popular. I believe if you are just looking for text responses, just for a quick query, then you can use the ChatGPT app for that. But if you are looking for something a little bit more detailed, you want to be able to search for images within the app, then you want to use the Microsoft Copilot app, because that has a lot more feature heavy uses and it appeals to a wider audience. So let me know what you think. Do you think that Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT is the better app? As always, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.